Welcome to Roll and Review, a channel for all things nerdy and awesome. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jim.
Alright, and we're going to be testing out a new format for our game reviews, so if you like how we're doing this, let us know in the comments. Welcome to Uncharted. We've been playing Uncharted for a while now. We just, unfortunately, we couldn't get the review out exactly when we wanted to, we both have busy lives. But, to start off, this game is absolutely incredible.
I agree. It's on par with all the rest of the Uncharted games. It's done really well, great story, great graphics.
I'm going to say it is the second best of the Uncharted games, because nothing really can pass 2.
I can
is
agree
utter
with that.
perfection,
Yeah.
but I would say it is a close second.
Absolutely. 2 in my book still takes the cake as like the best game. It's almost a perfect game.
Yes.
This one obviously didn't match up to that totally, but it's right beneath it.
Yeah, it's basically a tick mark behind it. It's a fantastic game. Because one of the main reasons you buy an Uncharted game is for its story. And this story is a fun adventure.
Oh yeah. The story revolves around finding Captain Avery.
Henry
Avery's treasure.
I think Avery sent out crosses only to the other wealthy pirates like himself. What if they pooled and hid all their treasure together?
That would make the Gunsway all look like chump change.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Revolving around finding his treasure with a new character and family member.
And this game is character driven. It is a fun adventure. You have the amazing Uncharted set pieces and the gunfights, but the back and forth between all the characters is what really drives this game, and it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so the characters that are like the main focal point of this game is Nathan and Sam Drake.
Yes, they introduce a new character, Sam, his brother, which the only downsides I would say to the game is it feels a little bit convenient how his brother was kind of just shoved into the franchise. It's almost like they didn't mean to make another game after 3 and had to find some way to make this character fit.
Yeah, essentially, especially since we've seen young Drake before in
Yes.
previous games, and there's been no mention of that or other convenient tools in the game like the grappling hook.
Yes, how the tutorial section of this game is the older brother breaking the younger brother out of the orphanage that is mentioned in Uncharted 3. So you do the normal, you climb here, you shimmy here. Then they introduce a new mechanic for the game, a grappling hook. And somehow between Uncharted, Among Thieves, and Drake's Deception, Nathan forgot how to use a grappling hook. Even going so much as to mocking Tenzin in the second game about it, saying it will never work.
Yeah, good luck, pal. I mean, that's almost impossible to... Oh, you did it. Nice. Sure, let's just swing across on the 70-year-old rope.
Right, and those two things are the things that really feel like convenient about this game, which for me makes it lose kind of a tick. Starts losing a tick behind number 2 because we didn't have some of these like weird things that were missed in a previous game but now are here.
That being said, the character of Sam is incredible. I like the dynamic between both the Drakes, with Nathan being the seasoned treasure hunter and Sam, due to certain plot circumstances, has not been in the game as long, even though he's the older brother. And he wants to go. All he wants to do is get the treasure.
Yeah, it's actually interesting how in this game the older brother almost acts like a younger brother to his younger brother who acts as the older.
That is very true. Usual stuff, I like the back and forth. They're both funny. Nathan Drake is again reprised by Nolan North, and his brother Sam is actually voiced by Troy Baker. 2 of the best voice actors currently in the business, especially for video games.
Yeah.
And it is amazing to have them just the freedom to go back and forth together. Okay. The game is divided basically into 2 sections. You have the small sections of where you play the brothers when they were teenagers, and then the main game of where we would know the chronology to be. The voice actors from the kids, they did a great job.
Yeah.
I never felt like I was just listening to kids in a room. They were very convincing. They were doing a very good job on par with the rest of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a good job portraying all the emotion and everything that we expect voice actors to do, and not just feeling like they're reading off a page.
Yes. Sully is back. He is incredible. If there's a future to this franchise, I want to see Sully. And give me some more Sully.
I think if there is a future to this franchise, he'll be a part of it. So Elena is back in this game, and she's great in this game, and they didn't do one of their fun little, oh, they broke up again.
Off game, so there's this, oh, they're broken up. But the game starts off, they're married, they're actually happy living together. They actually nailed a dynamic of being in a relationship down. Because sometimes when you play games, it feels a little bit forced and unnatural.
Yeah.
The back and forth between these two, just like living daily lives, like is spot on to how relationships actually work.
Oh, yeah, and there's a whole, oh, I'll do the dishes. No, I'll do it. That whole back and forth that comes down to a wonderful playing of a old PlayStation 1 game.
Yes. Apparently in the Drake household, the dishes are decided by the classic Crash Bandicoot.
Which I'm totally okay with, because that was a great game, and I really enjoyed playing it in this one.
But the only thing they sometimes do with Elena and with Drake is they have their character motivations, and then sometime in the middle of the game they switch it a little bit. Elena does that a little bit here. Like, she gets to a point where she might reach her breaking point, and then is very, very forgiving of him, like, it just feels like minutes later in game. But,
yeah, there are definitely parts in this game where we found out information about Drake's past and his family and all this, and the fact that he's never told his wife this.
Yes.
And then she finds out, and she is oddly okay really quickly. Like, there is some, like, back and forth where you could tell she's, like, pissed at him, but then, like, without much talking through things or anything, it's just like, oh, she's cool again.
To be fair, there was that one section of them back and forth where they talk about it while scaling pirate engineered rotten wood things. But
oh yeah, and that's what I was talking about with the, you could kind of tell she's pissed, but there was never really no like sit down, like conversation, which is really what marriage really is going to come down to.
But they don't have time to do that.
True.
That they're in extenuating circumstances, and Nate's motivations in this game are very, very clear, and anyone would get behind it. Like, his motivations is to find the treasure to save his brother. It's not because he wants to seek the riches for himself. He is in this for one purpose, and that's to make sure Sam doesn't die.
Yeah, that's completely true. As opposed to the previous games where his motivation was solely to get the treasure because he was kind of obsessed.
Or stop the bad guy from getting the treasure because he was so obsessed he led them to the treasure.
Yeah.
Lazar of it. Yeah, but some of the decisions Nate's make are kind of just head scratch worthy. You're like, seriously? Like, I feel like some of the problems throughout the plot could have been alleviated if by a phone call in the beginning of the game. But that happens.
Yeah, and again, that's why this isn't the perfect game. There are problems to this game.
It's true. Just a couple of the criticisms I have. Back, Sam was very conveniently worked in. The opening tutorial with the brothers escaping the orphanage went on way too long. If it was shortened just a little bit, it would have been perfect, but it felt like it dragged, and it just got a bit old.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the actual adventure again, especially since this game starts in media res, like half of the Uncharted games, and I wanted to get back to that story. I was tired of them complaining about nuns on rooftops.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the first one did drag on too long. The second young Drake
was fun.
Portion was fun, and that one was perfect.
Yes, that second one was perfect, but the first one just dragged. And continuing on with the Uncharted tradition, we have a British villain. Half of the villainous duo of this game is the stereotypical Brit. Her name is Nadine Ross. She is the leader of a mercenary army, and she throws down. She beats the crap out of both Nate and Sam, sometimes unbelievably, just because you can be really good at fighting, but when you double teamed by people with clear weight advantages, a little bit hard to believe, but she's awesome.
Yeah, she was a fantastic character. Actually was really excited whenever she kind of popped up, because I knew something cool was about to happen.
Continuing also the series, every character in Uncharted is the worst thing to ever happen to archaeology. They are not afraid to destroy things in this game.
No, clearly. Even the treasure hunters who are like, well, we'll just blow this up. Okay, no, you probably wouldn't do that.
The main villain of the game, he's obviously the villain. By the first time you meet him, you're like, this guy is a dick. And he carries on. He has a nice story arc that you reach at the end of the game. The final battle in this one is amazing. I think on par with that of Uncharted 2.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I think the Uncharted games have done really well, where instead of, especially this one, instead of just having a reactionary cutscene as like your main final thing, it is actually you doing the fight. You doing that. Instead of just hit square. Okay, good.
Again, in more Uncharted fashion, you get a gambit of amazing landscapes to play around in. From sneaking into a illegal auction, feeling a little bit like Hitman, trying to go in. From searching old Scottish cathedrals and monks' burial sites, to in the middle of Madagascar, searching like towers hidden amongst volcanoes. And then you have tropical islands where who knows what could happen. Like, there's huge set pieces and huge variety in landscapes, and it is so much fun to just look around in, let alone play in.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's really done beautifully. The only thing that I realized at one point was, outside of playable area, everything is just like still. I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, those clouds aren't moving. Oh, okay. Well, that's far away. Most people won't notice that.
That being said, the amount of detail in this game, it is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Like, the individual hairs move on the characters' heads.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of those games that you would buy a PS4 for. If you don't already have one, get one for this game. It is worth it. Though, one other thing that this game made me left wanting is there were no appearances of two characters that I had grown attached to through the series. While there was mentions of both Charlie Cutter from Uncharted 3 and then Chloe from both 2 and 3, they didn't make any appearances, and I would have liked at least some conclusion for their characters, because I really liked both of them and I wanted to see them a bit more.
Yeah, it was essentially completely missing, because even those little cameo mentions didn't give you anything of their character.
And you could miss Chloe's if you didn't click. Like, Charlie's is in a cutscene, but Chloe's, unless you pick up a note in Drake's attic, you missed it completely.
Yep. So we could have used more of them, or any of them.
Yes. And just fun. I love the group dynamic. And like the beginning of the third game, when you had solely Charlie, Chloe, and Drake breaking into Catherine's hideout, it was just their back and forth was so much fun, and especially Charlie being claustrophobic was hilarious.
Yeah, no, they're a great team together, and I hope if they continue with more games, we see more of them.
Yes. The action set pieces, I would say flawless on. The chase scene through Madagascar, which was the playable E3 segment that people saw, was one of the best set pieces I've ever played.
Oh, yeah.
Puzzles are fun. It's like, they're not the most complicated things in the world, but you will have fun doing them.
Oh, yeah.
Be a little convoluted for just technology's sake, but you're willing to suspend your disbelief just because you're having so much fun while doing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, they've already hooked us by the time they're getting to those really convoluted ones. They're just like, yep, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I'll do this. This is
fun. Again, Nate Drake somehow manages to survive the craziest falls and cutscenes, but you do a 10-foot drop on your own, and you do the fun ragdoll effect, which the ragdoll effects when you die in this game are hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But his grappling hook, as Spider-Man said to Cap Shield, this thing defies physics. It does not act how normal grappling hooks tied onto things would act.
Oh, no.
Conveniently coming with you at all times.
Yeah, I mean, you throw it, you hook it around something, you swing across, you don't do anything else, and the grappling hook's right back at your side.
Yep. They did add a more flushed out stealth mechanic for this time around, so there are a couple sections you can actually make it through the entire thing without getting into a gunfight if you have the patience enough for it. I do not. I was like going, and now I'm going to shoot you in the face, because
I would get like halfway through some of them, and then like one person randomly see me. I'm like, well, it's screwed.
now we
Just
shoot.
mow people down now. Okay.
I liked the new feature that your reticle changed when you killed someone, so you didn't have to waste extra ammo into guys, because sometimes you don't know if they did just the knockdown or you actually killed them.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was a great addition. Made definitely saving your ammo a bit. All right, Jim, give me some of the multiplayer, because I haven't played it that much, and it's used some more time in there than I have.
Yeah, so the multiplayer's, it's an Uncharted multiplayer. It's not great, but you don't play this game because of the multiplayer. Obviously, it's for the story. So with this multiplayer, kind of just like a very generic third-person shooter multiplayer. There's nothing really special about it. And a matter of fact, I did encounter some problems free climbing in it, where when I would try to climb up onto something, if my camera wasn't positioned just correct, it wouldn't let me actually climb up. It would just have me shift back and forth along the ledge, which I didn't experience too much at all in the actual game.
If I did a misclimb in the game, it's because I was being impatient and trying to go too quickly.
Exactly, but when in the multiplayer setting, it seemed to happen way more often. And I'm not sure what the reason behind that was, but it was there.
Probably a different team, the multiplayer, than the single player.
Probably. It's a lot of grinding in the game. You start off with really basic stuff. You can unlock new stuff, but a lot of it's just kind of grinding, doing whatever challenges for that week, collecting relics, I think they're called, and buying these boxes. They're totally random boxes. You don't know what you're going to get. However, along with that, you do have a good amount of customization.
Okay.
Each time you play, you're either on the good guys or the bad guys side, and it gives you a choice of characters from each one, and you can unlock more. So you can unlock Chloe, you can unlock Charlie, you can unlock those people in the multiplayer. I always play as Tenzin because I really like playing as
Tenzin's
Tenzin.
awesome.
But even with those characters, you can still customize how they look. So if you really want, you can put a clown nose on Drake and run around with clown. Like, there's plenty of customization with the character, and even some with the guns with different skins and whatnot.
Okay. So what's your final verdict for Uncharted 4, A Thief's End?
My final verdict is an A.
I'm going also to give it an A, and I want to say this is the highest I can give before I give it an A+. It was just the little inconveniences and just a couple sections that brought it down from an A+ to me, but this is still a must-own game. This is the pinnacle of the PS4 at this point, and it is a console-selling game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it got an A for me because it's a absolutely fantastic game. The story is great. The gameplay, the graphics are all amazing. But for me, there's not tons of replay value right away. And with the multiplayer being it really leads to, once you've beat the game, you feel really accomplished because you beat the game, you love it. But then you're like, okay, I guess I'm moving on. So that's kind of what brings it down from an A+ to an A for me.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for listening to us. If you guys played the game, let us know what you thought about in the comments. And after you watch this video, click here to the left to see the first part of our roll and review show with Talks and Trade, and click here to the right to have our part 2 where we talk about our dream superhero teams.
All right. And please subscribe, and thanks for coming.